here. We are right now in winter, which means I get really cold and I want something really warm to warm up my belly. And the first thing I think of is 煲仔飯, which is a classic Chinese one-pot meal. I think Chinese people are the originator of that one-pot dinner meal. So what's great about this dish is you literally just put everything inside this clay pot. You have your protein, you have your vegetables, you have your rice, and then very little dishes. It's just that one pot. And the key to making this clay pot rice really good, I think, is to achieve that nice crispy rice at the bottom without burning it. So if you like your rice, one pot rice, without any of that crispy rice, 飯焦 at the bottom, you can just use like a regular Lifeso pot or even an Instant Pot to make it. But I like that crispy rice, so that's why I like using this 煲仔 to make that nice crispy rice at the bottom, because I like the normal cooked rice with some crispy rice and soy sauce. I think that's like a great combination. So I'm gonna teach you how to make this rice from this casserole, from this pot, I mean, in this video. So what you need in this recipe is 臘肉, which is cured pork belly, 臘腸, which is Chinese sausage, cured Chinese sausage, some vegetables. I picked 油菜, which is a very mild vegetable. It's not very strong tasting, which is very a good complement to the more heavier side of meats we have. And just some rice and a little bit of oil, and that's all you need. So I'm excited to get started. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want weekly recipes, you can go to my website at A Dash of Soy for weekly recipes. Alright, bye!
Cut the ends of your choy sum and discard, and cut the vegetables in 2 to 3 inches increments. As an option, you can use dry scallop to add to your clay pot rice for that seafood flavor. You can soak the dry scallops in hot water to make it soften and easier for you to rip. It will take about 10 to 15 minutes at least for the dried scallops to be soft enough for you to peel. After you rinse your rice, try to pre-soak your rice in cold water for 30 minutes prior to cooking.
Beautiful. To cook my clay pot rice, I turned on my stove and I use 1 tablespoon of oil to coat the pot already. That helps the rice not to stick to the pot. So now I use my rice cooker to measure out my water, to make sure I have enough amount of water, but I did a little bit less water just because there's gonna be oil coming from the 臘腸 and 臘肉, so it's going to be wet and they'll cook the rice well. So and I already have a little bit of that oil in my clay pot, so I don't want too much. I want the rice to cook perfectly without it being too like soggy, like lump. I want it to be perfectly fluffy, so it's okay to add a smidgen less water. flattened out my rice, just to flatten it out a little so it cooks evenly. Then you can just kind of swish it around too. Okay, so now you can just you can turn it on high and put the lid on, and then once it starts cooking, that's when we turn down the heat. I personally don't like the sweet soy sauce, but I do know that some people do. So you can eat your clay pot rice with a side of some soy sauce, and so I have that right here. I just use like 1 tablespoon of soy sauce and half a tablespoon of lo tao, which is dark soy sauce for more of that thicker texture, and then just half a tablespoon of some oil to kind of cook your soy sauce a little bit. So if you want to add a little bit of sugar to make it like a sweet soy sauce, you can do that. You can use rock sugar, or you can just add a little bit of sugar, cook the soy sauce a bit, and then I'm gonna cook the oil right now and just cook the oil until it is boiling point, high heat where the pot is just steaming, and then you just pour it into the soy sauce for a small cook. So I'm just gonna combine my soy sauce and my dark soy sauce.
After 10 minutes of cooking, you can start arranging your cured meats and vegetables in your clay pot. And at this point, you can turn up the heat so you can hear the crackling of the rice at the bottom.
This will take like a few minutes, maybe like 3 minutes or so. So the key is trying to hear that crackling. Once you hear that kind of the rice popping at the bottom a little bit, like crack, 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 I think that's when the rice starts crisping up. But don't do it for too long because then your rice will start burning. So the key is to wait for that crackling to start and then just let it cook for like a minute or two. I mean, if you like it really crispy, yeah, maybe like 2 to 3 minutes, but make sure your rice doesn't start burning at the bottom. So it's like finding that balance between crackling and not burning. So I'm listening to the crackle right now and starting to hear a little bit. I cranked up my heat to like medium high right now, like kind of high. So since the rice is already cooked, you can just go ahead and crank it up higher. You just want to get that crispiness. Okay, so I hear the cackling like popcorn of my rice at the bottom, and I think it's ready. Open it. Wow, look at that. You hear the cracking? Yes, that means it is ready. Okay, I'm checking my 煲仔飯 to see if there's crispy rice. I'm digging. It's crispy! Ooh! Yeah! See that crust? Crispy
Ooh. Gotta get that crispy rice. Let me just get a bite. Crunchy. And the oil from the Chinese sausage and the curry sausage just seeps into the rice. So yummy. Okay. That's good. Good job. Complimenting myself, whatever.